singing. I'm such a great singer. And Lee, our king of high tech, our king tech guru, Lee Baby Michaels, just loves the way Jesse T sings. I know he does. Yeah. He just can't wait till I rip off a good national anthem. I promise you, he will not take a knee. Yes, how do I get that controversial stuff in there? It's just amazing how that stuff happens. Yes, well, I might knock him out. That's for sure. He won't have to take a knee. He'll be straight on his back. That's how you kill a NFL game. Just hire me to sing the national anthem at the 50-yard line. I'll just knock everybody out. That's for sure. Hey, I still am acting like a pirate. Arr, arr, arr. Yes, you can still see it, but I do have a little retainer and a new tooth that they got made for me, and I've been wearing it for the last couple of days. But the problem with that is that I'm still tackling the vocalization, these things I'm still tackling. So I for the show I haven't put it in yet. As soon as I get connected a little bit better with my speech impediment, that's for sure. We are on Instagram Live, Jesse Torrero, and YouTube / Jesse Torrero. And if you can just take the audio feed today, we're at the www.thepowerofvoices, and it's good to have us along as our foundational channel there, KTNT Radio. Oh yeah, baby, and TV, podcasting and broadcasting all across America. So it's good to have you along. Chime in right now, and because we're going to be bringing on a special guest in a few minutes, we're going to make a call out to somebody that, I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit in just a second. Did want to talk a few things, though, here going into the holidays before we do get started into the show. And our guest, I wanted to let you know that, we're going to have some great guests coming up here over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So we want you to stay tuned for that on Tuesday and Thursdays, except for this Thursday, of course, being Thanksgiving. On Mondays, we're going to be shifting Mondays out to primarily talking about real estate. So that's going to be playing with that here over the next couple of weeks as we roll into 2018 and cover real estate. We did a survey, and a lot of people still want to find out on how to buy a house with no money down and how to get a loan and how to fix your credit report. And of course, I have been Jesse, Mr. Soul Torrero, for about 40 years here in Los Angeles. Saying hi to Playboy for Life 56. Playboy for Life 56 is joining us at Instagram Live, and appreciate that very much as we start chiming in and people start calling. That's terrific. I really I want to thank you very much. Over this last year, our audience has grown because of you sharing and liking and viewing and letting all your friends and family and everybody know on the social network sites. We are on 21 social media networks. We are on places like Periscope and Livestream, and of course we're on Instagram and several Facebook sites and several YouTube sites, as well as Tumblr and Twitter and Blogger, and we have over 1.5 million views on Google Plus and about 97,000 new monthly shares every month on Facebook, and we appreciate all the camaraderie that you bestow upon us, my friends, and it's good to have you along. And we're going to be bringing on our guest here in a little bit, and I think you might remember from years ago, there was a great series on Channel 7, ABC here in Los Angeles, and it ran, or may have been CBS. I'm not quite sure what channel it was on, but it was a nationwide show, and it had to do with a cruise ship called, we're talking about that beautiful big white Princess Cruise ship, and we're gonna you remember the name, right? What was it called? Yeah. Come on now, you can get it right. Come on, yeah. Okay, right. It has to do with romance. Come on now, you got it right. There it is. I feel it. Right. Love Boat. So we're going to have the creator of Love Boat here coming on with us in just a second. Geraldine Saunders, she created the Love Boat TV series with Aaron Spelling. And the terrific thing about this series that I did not know is that it was rooted in a real-life adventure. Geraldine was the first woman in real life, the first female to break the gender barrier on cruise lines and become a cruise line director. Now, that's really something because we're talking about this person handles all of the fun and all the issues and the problems of a cruise line. They're the director. They control everything. And she's got some great stories, so we're going to reach out to her. Also, she has a horoscope that she writes every single day in over 1,000 newspapers across Canada and America, so we'll be chatting about that. And she's got a couple of Broadway productions that are going to be happening here. And so these are some of the cool things that Geraldine has done over the years. And she's reached out, of course, to the great Aaron Spelling, and they did a partnership together to make that happen. So we're going to bring her on right now. Do we have her up? And is she ready to go pretty soon, in just a second? Now, if you remember, the Love Boat was the Princess Cruise Line, and that was a huge ship at the time. But, you know, some of these ships today for cruise lines are absolutely just amazing. They're just so huge. I can't even imagine being a cruise line director in some of these megalopolis urban cities that are floating on the oceans. But let's reach out to Geraldine right now. Hi, Geraldine. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. I'm on land.
Or you landed on land after a fun weekend, I'm sure.
Yes, I have a very busy life. I was the first female ever to become a cruise director. First, I was a hostess for 2 years, and I just sort of helped. A hostess is usually the flunky to the cruise director. And so I would train all these cruise directors, and with the wine, women, and song, they'd have to cart them off after a few months, and I had to train another one. And so a couple of years I was a hostess training these cruise directors. And finally, much to my surprise, they asked me if I'd like to be a cruise director. I never entered my head that a woman could do it.
Isn't that amazing how it just takes one courageous woman like yourself to break that barrier and a whole world opens up in such a magnificent way. And certainly making that decision, it opened up for you, didn't it?
Oh, it certainly did, because I would write home and I'd say, "Dear family, you'll never believe what happened today." Because, see, I lived at sea for 7 days a week for 2 years, 7 days a week, 11 months a year. And I'd write home and I'd say, "You never believe what happened today." And my mother saved all the letters and sent them to an agent, and the agent sent them to a publisher in New York. And that's how my autobiography came out, called The Love Boats.
It's interesting how sometimes things fall into place like pieces of a puzzle, and you don't even go beyond what you're doing. It just kind of kicks in there. But what a fascination the public had with that TV series, and we'll talk about that in a second, because I really like a lot of the stuff that you're talking about now, the stuff that happened in real life and that really goes on a cruise ship. Yeah. Now, where did you work? Did you work the California to Mexico line, or were you all around the world?
Well, for the first 2 years, I was just to Mexico and back. And then I started going to Mexico and the Caribbean, and then I started going all around the world. Worked for all the lines at various times.
Now, did you?
First 2 years was at Princess Cruises.
Did you like staying close to the shoreline, or were you an open sea lady, an open ocean lady?
I just loved being at sea.
Yeah,
it was just so great, and I still like to go on cruises because I like the pampering.
But the cruise ships today, I mean, they just released a new cruise ship just maybe a month and a half ago. This thing is your phone
is conking out.
Is the phone working?
Yeah, that's better. What did you say?
The cruise ships today, I mean, are so huge. They're like they literally are floating cities. They're bigger than aircraft carriers.
They certainly are. Certainly are.
And you could probably fit 2 of the Princess Cruise lines in some of the massiveness of these cruise ships today.
And you know what amazes me on those huge ships is you'd think there'd be a lot of lining up at things. No, but have it so organized that you don't have any more lines than you do on a small ship.
Yeah, it's just what an overwhelming job, but really, what kind of fun did you have? I mean, you must have had a great time as a cruise director.
Well, I liked the music. We always had good orchestras on board. I used to love the music. Of course, I didn't dance very much because I loved to dance, but the ladies that were alone wanted to dance, so
Right.
I didn't want to use up the single men.
Well,
There's a lot of romance going on the ships. Something about the movement of the ship kind of makes people lose their inhibitions and they become more playful.
isn't that fun?
And,
Bet you got some stories there to tell.
Yeah, so a lot of romance going on, and everyone is. It's like you're at a private party. Everybody smiles at everybody. It's just the way the world should be.
Yeah,
I always thought if everybody could go on a cruise, there wouldn't be any wars.
When you're stuck on a ship with a whole bunch of people and you can't get off that ship, you better like it because you ain't going too far. That's for sure.
You know what I used to say to my passengers on the welcome aboard? I'd say, now, if you want to have a good time, if someone's complaining, stay away from them. They'll ruin your cruise. So nobody wanted to be isolated, so they would shut up.
Hey, I like that. We ought to have a little bit more of that spread around. You know what's going on in our crazy country today. I mean, you don't have something good to say, don't say nothing at all, right? We learned that when we were kids. So you're 94 years old, and you
94.
are.
Yeah, and I go out every night. I love to dance, and I go to parties, and I'm staying home today because I'm gathering in my aura because I've been to too many parties this month.
Well, I have a wonderful single gentleman here named Lee Baby Michaels.
Well, I'm sure single, that's for sure.
No, he's I try to set him up all the time, but he doesn't want to be set up. He says I'll find my own ladies. Thank you very much.
He's probably a birthday.
What's that?
What is his birthday?
What is your birthday? May 28th.
Gemini, yeah.
Yeah,
that's where my moon is. We'd get along great. I write a horoscope column, 365 days a year for the Tribune. Goes all around the world. It's even in Dubai every day.
Wow.
My astrological forecast.
So let me just make a note here. Are we having any audio problems, Lee?
No.
Did Ed get it okay?
It's okay now. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. Saying hi to Jeffrey Kobus, who has us on. Edward Losey has us on, and your publicist, Ed, is listening intensely. Oh,
he's sure a good publicist, boy. He's been taking to me more fabulous parties.
Oh, he's the best. Ed is the best.
He really is.
Christopher Amon's on the line with us. Also, Judy Camera. I like that last name. And Cindy Colston is checking in. And at Zekas is checking in. And Guitar Blues 87. What's your favorite music, Geraldine?
I like Dixieland.
So you're a fast dancing lady.
Yes, I love to dance, and I love to dance to Dixieland.
Now, when you set up, when you were the cruise director of the Princess Cruise Lines, when you set up that, does that entail everything, all the entertainment, all of the
everything that happens to a passenger from the time they get up till they go to bed? I'm in charge of. All the public rooms have to have something starting every hour on the hour, and you're in charge of having people go on the tours, telling them what they're going to be like, and making sure that they're loaded. And you're just in charge of their morale of the whole ship.
Wow, that's a lot of people. How many people were on that ship normally?
Well, most with like 750 passengers. But now some of them are huge. Of course, I've been on the big ones too, but then I go as a lecturer. I give lectures called The Love Boat Lady, and I tell them how I became the Love Boat Lady and how you too can create your own television series.
When you do that, when you're on a ship and something's not going exactly the way you planned it, and you have to make these quick changes in that respect, I would imagine that you have a huge staff that helps you. It's like eagle eyes on everybody. And a lot of people engaging people in fun communication and a good time.
Well, it's not like that. You're in charge of everything. You are in charge of what those people are thinking. You have to get on the mic and say the right thing at the right time. And you can't be too soft and you can't be too firm. You have to reach a happy medium so that the people realize that they have to behave, but also that you're there as their entertainer, and you care about them.
Yeah, I think that's one of the important things. If you've ever taken a cruise, when you get aboard ship, you feel like you're one big part of a family.
Yes, everybody can smile at everybody and not feel that they're being too personal, and it's just like you're at a private party. It's just wonderful.
Absolutely, and rough seas don't bother anybody. Foul weather doesn't bother anybody. Of course, I'm sure you have a lot of what is that pill that you take when you're in rough seas? Dramamine or something like that?
Dramamine, Well, I tell my passengers how to keep from getting seasick. If they look out their porthole and there's white caps, you know that the weather's going to be rough, and then you stay away from liquids. Stay away from anything liquid, and you won't get seasick. That's
really?
The secret. Uh-huh.
You mean a Mai Tai and a couple of gin and tonics don't help?
Not exactly while the sea's rough.
Isn't that? I always thought if you got schnockered, you wouldn't get as seasick.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think the best thing is to take crackers.
Yeah.
They have seasick crackers, but people don't usually get seasick now because the larger the ship, the less movement you have. And the ships are so smooth now that people don't seem to get seasick.
And they're just, as I was alluding to earlier, they're just huge. They're just so huge. And they're so massive. I mean, some of them have 20 decks, it seems like.
And they just have everything you can think of. There isn't anything you can think of that you might enjoy that isn't there. It's just a wonderful way to have a vacation. You don't have to pack and unpack when you get to port and try to get off and find a taxi. It's just the ideal way to go on a vacation. Especially if you have a family.
Did you enjoy the everlasting vacation that never stopped for you?
Well, it wasn't exactly a vacation, but I did enjoy hearing the music, though. We had great orchestras on all the ships I've been on.
So tell me some of the weirdest, craziest things that have happened that you've seen that you either had to fix or something that you went, oh my.
Well, a lot of things happen when someone's trying to get from the tender onto the ship,
Mm-hmm.
And one of our entertainers was new, and she came on board, and we found out that she faked her way to get on board, saying that she could sing, but she couldn't sing. But then the passengers end up loving her anyway. So she was going from the tender to get on the ship from being in port, and she fell between the tender and the ship, and somebody grabbed her, but when they grabbed her, she had a wig on, and the wig came off in her hand, and she just went down.
Well, you're talking about someone that fell overboard into the water, and all you had was her wig.
Well, we fished her out, and the passengers end up loving her because she was crying because we kind of were scolding her for lying about not being able to sing, but the passengers loved her, and she ended up being very popular.
So now you wrote you were the director for several years, and then you wrote home all the stories you put together in some kind of a book form, and wrote a script. And tell me how you got to Aaron Spelling about this, because all of this was ultimately and directed itself to becoming one of the most popular TV series of all time.
Yes, do you know it? Right now, it's playing in 122 countries. It was the easiest TV series to syndicate because it didn't have any excess sex or excess violence. So it's like a household word in the world right now. 122 countries. And
that beautiful voice of Ernie Anderson, at the intro at the end, the Love Boat. He could really drop it down. I mean, everybody knew that slogan for the Love Boat. And
everybody seems to know the lyrics to the Love Boat song, even though they didn't watch the show.
Yeah, especially the melody and the harmony of it. That you play two notes of that, and the Love Boat.
Yes. I get so thrilled when I hear it. Oh.
How close were the characters to some of the people that you actually worked with in real life? Were the characters far-fetched characterizations of people you worked with, or were they kind of designed by the scriptwriters?
No, amazing. The captains usually acted very dignified the way Gavin did. And the cruise director, of course, she was Julie McCoy, and I always say I'm the real McCoy. And they didn't have her doing as much work as I used to do. I used to work like 18 hours a day. But no, the characters were rather well defined.
Did you have to pull Aaron Spelling's arm to make this happen?
No, I sent my manuscript to Jerry Hulse, who was the travel writer for the Los Angeles Times.
Mm-hmm.
And he, God bless him, wrote in there, I just read a manuscript by Geraldine Saunders, a beautiful redhead who works at sea as a cruise director, and her story, what a great TV series it would be. And that night, I didn't realize it, but that Aaron Spelling and Douglas Kramer were at a cocktail party, and they both read that, and they both had secretaries call my agent, and so they shook hands, and they said, whoever's secretary called the agent first gets it. And that was Doug Kramer, so he did the first two Love Boats, and then Aaron Spelling came on board, and we went to series. And I just thank the universal intelligence every day and night for my good fortune.
Well, you talk about being at the right place at the right time. A lot of folks don't realize that real Hollywood business, real entertainment business isn't done at the desk of a high-rise 20-story building. It's done over a couple Mai Tais, and it's done over some hors d'oeuvres, and it's done over some good spaghetti. That's where the real Hollywood business and the business of the business takes place all the time. You hear that story in and out from everybody. I knew somebody. We got to talking. It was a great idea, and then we got to doing it. And now, how involved were you with the Love Boat? I mean, did they use you as a counselor in terms of?
Yes, well, they showed me the first script, which they had the captain carrying the luggage and all sorts of things that were. And I said, "Wait a minute, you got to tell me. I'll have to tell you what not to do and what to do." So they would send a limo over for me, and it was so thrilling to think that after all these years, that I was a fashion model for 20 years, and then I became a cruise director. I always had these jobs where I was on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I was making money. All I had to do was walk down my long driveway and get the checks every day. And I've been in seventh heaven ever since.
Well, are you still walking down the long driveway getting the checks every day?
I sure do.
Oh, well, listen.
Nice.
I'm going to be at the end of the driveway, and I'll be hand delivering the checks for you. And I'm cheap and I'm easy. I just don't do dishes. Okay?
How about windows?
I do windows, I do lawns and sprinklers, but I don't do dishes, okay?
Oh, you sound perfect.
Yeah, that's right. Just throw me a couple bucks here or there. I'm a happy camper. I'll go down to King Taco and get some tacos,
Oh, great. What is your birthday?
August 23rd.
Oh, you're a born communicator, That birthday, I have a travel astrology column, a forecast that I write every day, 365 days a year, goes all around the world.
Yeah, this is amazing, folks, because it's in about 1,000 or so newspapers.
Yeah, every single day.
Every day you got to write something, a horoscope about all the different signs.
That birthday of yours is so great for communications.
Well, maybe that's why I talk in my sleep so much, because I can never get myself. I would always get myself in trouble talking in my sleep, because I'd have a date with Cindy, right? And Judy was my girlfriend, and I'd spend most of my time with Judy, and I'd go out with Cindy on Tuesday night, and I would talk in my sleep and go well, actually I should say it the other way around. Cindy's my girlfriend, and Judy I'm going out with, so I'd talk in my sleep and I'd go, Judy, Judy, oh Judy, oh Judy, that feels so good, Judy. And Cindy would wake up and smash me in the head with a pillow. And so what I really did is I just never would let any lady tell me her name, and that way then...
And just call them old darling.
Yeah, that's right. So at night when I would be communicating in my sleep, I would go, darling, darling, darling. Oh, yeah, who are you talking? I'm talking about you.
Very good, very good. Are you a writer?
Yeah, I do write. I write on everybody's garages. I write on everybody's walls. I write on the street. I make
and you're also a comedian.
I make right turns all the time. I'm like NASCAR going the opposite direction. Yeah, I do write, and I've been in the entertainment business a long time, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm a third generation brat. That's for sure.
You have a lot of good wit.
Ah, well, thank you very much. When you have a great client like yourself to talk to and a good guest, really. I mean, how do you come up with 1,000 new horoscopes? I mean, how do you come up with the horoscopes every day for 1,000 papers? How do you do that 365 days a year?
Carl Gustav Jung says that every moment of time has the qualities of that particular moment, and that's why everybody's unique, because two people can't be born in the very same spot. If you took a photograph of the heavens at the spot where you were born, that's the cards you've been dealt. But how you play them is by knowing which ones you have. And astrology is just a study of time, just a matter of timing. Everything is timing. And if you know when to lie low and when to push ahead, you can use the Kabbalah, you can use astrology, you can use numerology, a lot of methods that you can use to help yourself make life more easy and pleasant.
Well, it's very interesting when you start talking about that stuff, because a lot of the ancient civilizations used numerology, they used astrology, they read the stars to help them make decisions, and when to plant, when not to plant, when to move, when not to move, and even up to recent kings and monarchies, as well as government officials. There's lots of people today that utilize astrology and numerology. Is it a science or is it an art? What is it?
Well, you say if you went to a doctor, they might all give you the same diagnosis, but each one would treat you a little bit differently because it's a scientific art. Mm-hmm. And the same with astrology. It's a scientific art. Everyone will draw your horoscope the same, but how they interpret it is where the art comes in. So it's a scientific art.
So there is some interpretation that goes along with it.
Yes, it depends on who is interpreting it, you see.
Mm-hmm. And that changes from person to person.
Yes. Yeah. But basically, it's never anything wrong with astrology. It just may be something lacking in the person who is doing the interpreting.
Yeah, like they may have too many beers the night before.
Doesn't help to have a hangover, you know?
No, I don't think so. Or get in a fight with your spouse. I don't think that would work out either. That's for sure. I mean, you talk about bringing it home to work, right?
Yes.
When you really start looking into numerology and the power of the number 3, 6, and 9, the triangle, and how important 3 is to everything in our universe, the study of that number is so powerful. And
Trinity, yeah. I was born on the 3rd, so I'm born lucky.
Well, you know something? Look would you buy me my next California lottery ticket?
Well, you sound awful nice. I might do that.
I'll share it with you. I promise. I'll even give you 85% of it. I just want my 15% take, and I don't do dishes.
Okay, it's a deal.
Absolutely, man. So now I understand that on Broadway you've got something coming up. They're doing a rendition of The Love Boat.
Can you imagine how lucky I am? I got this email from my friend in New York. His name is Ted Bernetti, and he has a hit show right now on Broadway called The Yonkers Tales.
Right.
And he wants to do Love Boat, the musical. And I am absolutely so excited.
Wow.
I mailed him my books right away because he wants to do the stage musical from my book.
I can just imagine the bartender, my buddy Ted Lang, singing a musical song behind the bar.
Wouldn't that be cute? Oh, yeah.
That would be cute. He had a younger brother named Greg, and Greg and I were pals, and while that series was going on, so He was a funny guy in the show. That was my favorite character. I think that was a lot of people's favorite character.
Yes, he was. He just loved by everyone, and then he'd shoot with his finger like that. You know?
Yeah. So now the adaptation of this into a Broadway play, that's going to be very interesting. And
oh yes. Oh, it's going to be such fun.
especially when you do some dance routines there and everything. And of course, you're the dancer. We're going to see you on stage, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be up there kicking high.
Oh Lordy, Lord. I tell you, I hope at 94 I'm able to do the energy. You're like the Energizer Bunny Rabbit, number one.
I know. I have absolutely the most wonderful life, but the only thing is I have too much fun. I've got to learn how to stay home.
No, don't stay home. No. Go out and have a good time. That's what it's all about. Talking with Geraldine Saunders right here, and she was the creator of the Love Boat. It came from real life experience. She started off as a hostess and then became the cruise line director of many cruise ships around the world. And the stories that she can't talk about must be just wonderful to hear her talk about them at a party or something, because I can only imagine the fun and merriment that took place on that. And of course, she teamed up with Aaron Spelling and brought us the Love Boat. I think that was on the air for, I want to recall and say maybe 10 plus years.
Yes.
As a regular show, as a weekly show, and it's in reruns forever. Yeah, and then of course she's an astrologist, and she just basically told me, Jesse T, you just don't shut up. That's what she said to me in a nice way.
No, you have a great birthday for communication. You were born to communicate.
Maybe that's why I can talk myself out of tickets.
Good for you.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I talk myself out of some things, and I talk myself into some things too. That's for sure. But you've got a brand new play coming out on Broadway. Do you know when that's going to be ready to go? Is that
I suppose maybe by spring, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. So you can get tickets online and go. And for those of you who remember the Love Boat, or old enough to remember the Love Boat, and for those of you who are just experiencing it in reruns, it was a fantastic show. Very sweet, very 1970s and 1980s, you know.
And it put a lot of people to work, you know.
Everybody.
The cruise lines are booming now, and because all the people are working on the ships and
what an advertisement.
Building new ships.
Yeah. What an advertisement, huh? For cruising around the world. And really actors. It put so many actors to work.
Yeah, wonderful actors. And we had some wonderful guest stars, you know. Who
were some of your biggest guest stars that nobody would have ever thought would be on the Love Boat?
And you know, at first, it was kind of hard to get a big guest star. Mm-hmm. And finally, it got so they got insulted if they weren't asked, and they vied to get on board and be one of our guest stars. So,
do you recall some of the real famous names?
You name it, and we had them.
John Wayne.
I don't know if we had John Wayne. I would have loved to have him, but I don't know if we had him or not.
Ricardo Montalban.
Oh, he was wonderful. He was a wonderful man. I heard him give a off-the-cuff speech one day, and he's quite metaphysical and brilliant man. Such a nice guy.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Who's that?
That was Ricardo Montalban selling the Chrysler. Remember the Chrysler?
Oh, that's right.
The Cordova. Yes. Rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh? Not bad.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. I try every day. We'll see where it takes me. Well, that's terrific. Hey, Geraldine, thanks a lot. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions. How can people keep in touch with you, the fans here on the Jesse T Show that want to reach out and see your horoscopes?
I have a website.
Mm-hmm.
It's loveboatlady@earthlink.net.
Okay. And that's a loveboatlady at earthlink.net. Boy, I haven't heard an earthlink.net hookup for a long time. That's like AOL, you know?
Yeah.
Loveboatlady at earthlink.net. Do you have a Facebook page or Instagram?
No, but my friend Jeffrey Cobes has a Facebook, but so I find out what's going on through his Facebook.
Absolutely.
He puts my picture on there once in a while.
Right. Well,
he's a very talented actor, and he does impressions. But he's so talented. His name is Jeffrey Kobes, Kobes.
We'll have to look for him. I love guys and gals that can do impressions.
And he's going to be on Broadway.
No, that's terrific. Well, you have to con him to be on the Jesse T show. I'd love to have him down here do some impressions for us.
Oh, you wouldn't believe how entertaining he could be.
Well, let's reach out to him. Maybe when you have some time, you can come down live in person. Bring Jeffrey on down. We'll have a terrific time.
Well, where are you?
We're right by Sony Studios, not too far, just a rock throw away.
Oh, you're right here. Oh, we'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
Over by the old Fox Hills Mall, on the way to LAX, right there. And so, if you're down here, it's not too far. It's when you got to get here from somewhere else. It takes forever.
Okay, we'll do that.
I would love to have you on the show, in the studio, on the station, on our broadcasting network. It would be great to have you here on TV and radio.
Okay.
So that would be terrific.
We'll do that.
I've got a nice ad with your beautiful red hair here, the promo that's running. So you might want to check that out. And the Love Boat Lady at earthlink.net. Hello, everybody. How are you? I've got an audience checking in here because they love the Love Boat. Yes. Right. Yes. Okay, I'm just teasing some fans that showed up here. So.
Oh, good.
But Geraldine, thank you very much for having us on. Well,
you're very welcome, and God bless you.
Hey, God bless you. And as Spock says, continue to live long and prosper.
I certainly will. Thank you, dear.
We'll talk some more. I want to have you on the show down here live in studio. Maybe we can in the new year. That would be a lot of fun.
I look forward to it.
All right,
bye, dear.
Geraldine Saunders, everybody, the creator of the Love Boat, got some inside scoop on kind of what was going on there. Hopefully, we're not having too many technical problems. Still, people are saying they can't. Well, then what we do is let's plug the other plug in and see if we can bring that in, because we have another guest going to be here on the phone with us, and we'll see if we can plug that other phone. Oh, it's over here. Okay, yeah. Let's see if we can plug this one in here, guys. Of course, it's my unit here. Of course, yes. Yeah. Now that one seems to be better. It's always better. Straight is always better than curved. Hey, man, I'm in the Love Boat zone. All right, come on. I'm still experiencing the Love Boat. Hey, we're going to reach out to another terrific guest here, and just want to appreciate and thank Geraldine Saunders for coming on. She couldn't talk about a lot of the sizzle of what goes on, but you got an imagination, don't you? You can imagine what goes on with folks that take cruises. We've all taken a cruise here or there. It's a great time, and she just was terrific. You can catch her on horoscope pages all over America and many periodicals and newspapers in Canada and America. So, she said, basically, Jesse, you're a communicator. That's a nice way of saying you just talk too much. Saying hi to Jeffrey Kobes, and Jeffrey Kobes is a gentleman that can do lots of impressions, Jeffrey. Well, look, folks, if you can't catch us on one Facebook site, this is why we double them up. We run two at the same time, and because we never know when we're having some technical issues with stuff. It's just the way the technology is today. So we still can get the audio on Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero, as well by hitting the other Facebook channel that dumps into that channel, as well as my direct one here that you can see me on the camera. You can see us on the other one as well. So saying hi to Thomas Churchill. Hey, your favorite pirate is doing all right. I wonder what it'd be like to be a pirate of a Princess Cruise Line. Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine the pirates back in the 17th century and especially the 1600s, 17th century, the enormous ships that we have today that they couldn't possibly imagine the size of some of these vessels in the ocean. It's just amazing how big they are. I want to go on that giant one. It's got like 10 decks. It's twice as long as an aircraft carrier, and it just floats along. They got everything in there. I mean, they should have little electric cars. I wonder if they have a go-kart track in there. That would be kind of fun, Wouldn't that be fun on a cruise line, a go-kart track? Yeah, right. You miss it. You go off into the ocean. Yes. You talk about a roller coaster ride. Not picking up. Well, let's try. Did you try him at that number? And all right. Well, we're looking for Ed, and if you're there, pick up the line for us, and so that we can reach out to you. And we want to bring you on board because we want to talk about James Franco's brand new movie, and we're going to be doing that here. The Jesse T Show here live every day from Monday through Friday. Of course, Thursday we're going to be out and about, stuffing our faces just like you are with turkey. Yes, I feel like Clark Gable. Turkey. That's right. So, we're going to have a big meal, and we hope you have a safe and terrific holiday. But we are on every day of the week from 5 to 6. And tomorrow we've got another terrific guest coming in. Laura Landon is going to be here this week as well. So it's going to be just another wonderful show, as well as the Roundup Wound Up crew. They're going to be checking in here on Wednesday because we got lots to talk about. We're going to have a special guest. Lelaine is going to be one of the guests on the crew. She's going to be joining us. Michael Angelo, Dan the Man, myself, and David Shark Freilich. And we're going to have a ladies' kind of input, so I'm excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so we're trying to catch up with our next guest and get him on here. In the meantime, lots of crazy things have happened this weekend. Everything going, not calling, not hooking. Oh, he's calling in right now? Okay. In the meantime, this weekend has been fun-filled packed. Charlie Rose is in trouble. Yes, 8 women have come forward. Charlie Rose, the great Charlie Rose of all people. I mean, he's getting wrapped into this crazy witch hunt that's taking place right now. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on this week, about how it seems to be turning into a witch hunt, or is it not a witch hunt? So we're going to be addressing that issue a little bit later on. Right now, bringing on Ed Losey, one of the very, very best publicists that was ever created. I'll tell you, Ed Losey has been on top of so many great subjects and great events, and he has had just a fantastic career working with some of the top names in all fields here in Los Angeles and Hollywood and across America. And it's great to have you on, Ed. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Jesse. Thanks for that introduction. Is that the $20 one or the $40?
You know something? That's the $20 one. The $40 one.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it for the next time.
Yeah. I'll only charge you $20. You can buy me some spaghetti. All right.
Well, listen, for your listeners, we were getting the feed loud and clear on the third screen down.
Okay.
So if your listeners are out there and they can't get audio, we figured it out. You have to go down where it says number 3 on that little eye that looks like the little CBS logo.
Exactly.
Live. That's the one that's coming in loud and clear. The other ones are the sound from the guest isn't coming through.
Yeah, we had a little issue there in a plug-in that we needed to do, but that's why we double them up. So we have a master feed that you're alluding to. So thanks a lot for.
Well, you have a good system there. For matter of fact, I haven't heard them that as good as that one when the guest is calling from the outside. It sounded like she was right in the studio with you.
Well, that's Lee Michaels, man. He's the king of tech and guru. He set that up, and major accolades out to him. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. It's we try to bring the best quality we can, of course, here. But when you have a great guest like Geraldine was, I mean, she had some terrific stories to talk about.
Isn't she incredible? I mean, for the life that she's had, and she's still moving, and she's proud of her age. I don't think you discussed it, or maybe you did, because that was the part when we couldn't hear.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, and I was just amazed. I called her the Energizer Bunny Rabbit.
Yeah, well, she's a trooper too. So if she's invited somewhere and she says she's coming, she'll be there. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we just had her at a reception for Tammy Cash, the country singer.
Yeah, you know something, and I wanted to come to that, and I apologize to you. I really wanted to see her sing, and I just got stuck in the studio here afterwards. But how did that go? Was that?
It was fun, and people were just brought some of their guitars, and they were singing in the place.
Nice.
But, Geraldine. This is exciting news about her being going on this Broadway situation. So we're hoping that it's negotiated right, that it works out. That's what's happening right now. And I think she meant to say the same people that produced the hit Broadway show that's on now called Bronx Tales. Okay. She said Yonkers Tales. I think she meant Bronx Tales.
Yes,
I hope I'm right, but it's Bronx Tales. That's the
So they're actually doing an adaptation of the film Bronx Tales.
That's it. It's on Broadway right now.
Wow, yeah. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see this Love Boat because it's crazy. I mean, they're going to have song and dance and it's going to be an energetic kind of fun, crazy show. I know it.
Yeah, I mean we've all grown up with the show. If you're a baby boomer, we've all grown up with the show. I mean, it's 40 years. It premiered in 1978 and was on when I got out here in the 80s, of course, and every single client of mine through the 80s and 90s was on that show.
Oh, that show was that had everybody.
Everybody was on that show, and that's what Aaron Spelling did. He did the same thing he did with Fantasy Island.
Yes.
And we represented little Hervé Villechaize. They played.
Oh, I remember him living up in Shadow Hills. We used to drive him absolutely insane when we were kids.
Tattoo, put down that crack pipe, Tattoo.
Oi, the plane, boss, the plane. Do I have to put down the track?
He was a very complicated guy.
Very
charitable. But he was also totally gun crazy.
Yes, he was.
And he that all happened because one day while he was at LAX, the airport, in the carousel baggage area, a woman picked up her bags, saw him, and picked him up and walked out with him and her luggage.
Oh,
the kidnapping.
Boy, that's a TMZ shot there, man.
Yeah.
Wow. They tried to kidnap him, huh?
Yeah, so then he had guns everywhere, guns in the car, guns on him.
Oh, he had guns at his Shadow Hills ranch. I mean, he was always popping off rounds in the air at the ranch. I mean, we used to have horses up in that area and, up there. So, but he was a crazy character, man, that's for sure.
So we have...
So tell me about James Franco. Tell me about this movie that you were a part of to some degree way back when it was first being put together and stuff.
The younger generation, which is millennials, know a movie. I mean, it's a household word. It's called The Room.
Oh, that's
the worst motion picture ever made.
Yeah, it's a cult film.
So bad that it's good. And I got stuck. Okay, being the unit publicist for the film and the publicist for the creator of it, the director, the actor, the writer, the producer who put up all the money, Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Wiseau. And he looks like Count Dracula. And you've seen all the trailers are all over the place.
The trailers are terrific. Franco just hits it.
The movie's called The Disaster Artist, starring James Franco and Seth Rogen, and half of Hollywood is in it, including Sharon Stone and Bryan Cranston and Zac Efron, and just a whole lot of people that they're playing themselves.
It's got great reviews too.
Yeah, it's so in 2003 we were retained to roll this picture out, to promote it, and to do the premiere and everything that goes around that, inviting VIPs and press and celebrities and, red carpets and giant spotlights and the after party and a lot of work. And he...
Just another day in Ed Losey's life, ladies and gentlemen. Just another day.
Yeah. And so he he would never let us see the film.
Wow.
And so when I said, "Hey, this is great, thanks for hiring us, and so now let me see the film, so you know what we're talking about, right?" And he goes, "No, we're still editing that, So he kept giving us excuses. So the time was going by, and he paid us. Not only did he pay us, he paid us way more than what we asked for.
Wow.
And it was just why this budget on this horrible piece of crap was $6 million.
Oh, man.
And he filmed it in San Francisco. And so by the time he got down here, he was still editing at Photocam up in Burbank. And
Man, that's like $16 or $20 million today.
Yeah. And then, well, he had those famous signs on Sunset Boulevard in La Brea with his face looking
I
down
remember.
at people. That black and white picture
Yep.
looked like Quasimodo up there. And it had nothing to do with the film, and trying to figure out what it was. And he really thought it was a drama, and that he decided, after being rejected everywhere, that he was going to make his own movie and screw everybody, and he was going to let the world know what an incredible dramatic actor and director he was. And so he paid us a whole lot of money, and he kept installing me. And so I said to myself, well, I'll break my own rules. How bad could it be?
Oh, no. How bad
found
could
out
it
the
be?
night of the premiere,
oh, Lord.
Which is portrayed in the movie, and one of the reasons I consulted with James Franco personally about the premiere scene, which is the scene where the disaster artist ends. And the disaster artist was based on a book written by the co-star of the film, a guy named Greg Sestero, and it became a bestseller. And we turned this thing around on the night of the premiere. It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my career.
Wow.
And it was a theater that I packed, the Beverly Theater, the Beverly Complex Theater of CBS Center.
Oh, yeah. I know it well.
Which is closed. It was cursed after that showed there. After that movie shown there, the theater closed. It was a curse. That's how bad this picture was. And we had 500 people in there, including major stars.
Yeah.
From our Night of the 100 Stars crowd I had going in there. And I figured, hey, the guy's paying me a fortune. We're paying us, so we had the time to go the extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
And which we did. So we had people like Rod Steiger and Martin Landau and George Barris, and Lou Ferrigno and Sally Kirkland and Maria Conchita Alonso and George Christie from the Hollywood Reporter / Beverly Hills Courier now, and film critics. I really hyped it up. I earned my fees.
I'm just crazy. I'm just crazy curious how you turned this embarrassment for you around into such a terrific positive thing.
We had part of what I did is because he loved Brando, he loved Tennessee Williams, and he wanted to be this. He wanted to prove the world wrong. Okay.
Right.
And with this, jet black long hair, white face, leather and piercings, and he looked like Vlad the Impaler. He looked like a Dracula, and he had the same voice as Bela Lugosi.
Oh, that's funny.
And it was hilarious, and he was very secretive of where he was from. He told everybody he was from New Orleans, that he was Cajun. But he sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right? So, and there's millions of people now that know about this movie, and so the night of the premiere, it was so bad that, and I had gone on the stage to introduce him to everybody. On top of it all, so for the intro, before the film, it was a private screening, and it was sort of like a little mini Q&A, but so now I'm a target. So everybody that was there saw that I had something to do with this, right?
Oh, boy.
Now, the film starts. I've never seen it. And the cast, most of them had never seen it. put together. And what went up on that screen was so horrifying and so distasteful and so wrong in so many ways, and every rule broken in every film school on the planet was up on the screen. And the dramatic parts were hilarious. People were rolling in the aisles. And in the funny parts, people were hissing and leaving in droves, not just like sneaking out. They were running out.
Getting up and running.
Yeah. The door was slamming into the lobby, back and forth from people just flying through.
Oh, boy.
And needing a drink of water and some fresh air. And then to leave to go to the after party, which was down the street, which he had red carpeted all the way down the street. So when you leave the theater, you were on red carpet, walk down the street. So it was a big expense for Tommy. And
hold on one second. Ed, hold on 1 second.
Sure.
So we're gonna come to the end here and run the music underneath, and then.
Okay.
But hold on, Ed. We're gonna continue with this. Can we continue with this for about 5 more minutes?
Sure.
Lee? Okay. And we'll give you a clean break. Ed, stay with me just for a moment, and then I'll be right back with you. The Jesse T Show right here, man. Hey, we're on the air everywhere from the community to the world from 5 to 6 every day of the week. Thanking our very special guest, Geraldine Saunders, for checking in. The Love Boat. Look for her and check her out at the Love Boat Lady at earthlink.net. You can check her out. Also, check out the show. She was the creator of the Love Boat. We've got Ed Losey on. We're going to carry him over here in just a few minutes, but want to let you know about tomorrow. Another great show lined up. Roundup Wound Up on Wednesday. As we roll into Turkey Day on Thursday, this is yours truly, baby. That's right, Jesse Torrero with you. And now you're in the world according to Torrero, and you're straight on the point. The Jesse T Show, the Brown Beauty, is off duty, but we'll be right back. All right, Ed. So continue on with your story. So now people are
Is anybody out there?
Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to carry this on, and we're going to edit this in and take a little bit of Geraldine out, because this is really compelling stuff. This is funny. So now everybody's leaving in droves.
Well, yeah, everybody's leaving in droves, and I was hiding in the back. I was so embarrassed because I saw part of it and really got nauseous, and so. When we went to the after party, people on my staff, and they had come up to me and they said, "You got to do something," And then,
and what can you do? I mean,
a couple of, people like Martin Landau rolled his eyes at me, and some other you're in trouble now over this one. You owe us big. That kind of stuff, right?
Man.
So, and I realized that we had to do something. So the same night after Tommy Wiseau got up and walked over to the party, we told him that, listen, and he got upset. He goes, "Why was the theater empty?" He goes, "Why was the theater empty?" And I said, he goes, "You should have kept them there." So it's like, how are you going to keep people that were physically ill from watching this picture? Or just, had enough. How are you going to do that? So we had to turn it around, and so we said to him, Tommy, I didn't think you're brilliant, man. You're brilliant. For you this is like the funniest jokes on the audience black comedy that I've ever seen. And he's like, "What? You think that was funny?" He said, "Yeah, we have to change this around. This is going to be a cult classic. I see this being a cult classic, a movie that was intentionally made this way, okay? And it's a joke on the audience, okay? It's a wink,
right?
And he says, and my staff is around me and some key people, and we're all like, with our smiling and waiting for him to say, you're right, But what he did say was, "You're fired."
Oh. Thank you for the relief.
It was a Donald Trump, "You're fired."
Oh, you're fired.
And
you're fired.
Yeah. And then he went storming out. And Well, 2 days later, he called me back up, and he said, you're right. So we had to change the whole format. So it used to be all the passion of Tennessee Williams,
Right.
on the ads, right? And
Right.
if you like Tennessee Williams, you'll love The Room, and it was all about drama. And then we changed it around to black comedy, and we had to put stickers on ads, and I mean it was, and
Well, that's actually a brilliant move because
we're screening it. We were screening it and inviting everybody we knew to come for free.
That's brilliant because it created that cult.
To see if you could sit through it and even have awards and badges that says I've survived The Room, 3 times, and then people were wearing badges. So the UCLA and USC film schools and the students, they just loved it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they, it was hilarious. And they're doing fake reviews and fake, how it's changed my life. One beautiful girl comes out from UCLA Film School. It's changed my life, and she's like crying and he's like the Messiah, and people were laughing, but they were getting into it, and it spread like a disease.
Right.
And now for 14 years, The Room has been playing at midnight shows, not only in the United States but worldwide. And Tommy Wiseau became a huge star for all the wrong reasons, and culminating in the front page story in Variety 3 years ago when I opened up, and there is a big headline saying, James Franco and Seth Rogen buy the rights to The Disaster Artist, about the making of the worst movie ever made, The Room.
Oh.
And that was vindication for us.
Oh, my goodness.
And not only that, but I got to be, as I had said earlier, a consultant to James Franco for that, the scene, the scene where everybody was running out.
And, I'll tell you, some of the trailers that I've seen are just fantastic. The one trailer that is getting a lot of airplay is the one where he comes out of that little shed like 150 times. And when he finally hits the line, says Bob over there, looks to his right, or Bill or Bob, and the whole crew goes, yeah!
Well, the people that are into this, that are fans of this movie, they know the lines by heart.
Oh, just like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Everybody knows
that's
that.
That's gone. The Rocky Horror Picture Show got thrown out, baby. This took over.
This is it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you go, you have to experience this in your life. It plays once a month in Westwood at the Regency Theater.
Oh, it's at the Regency right there. Okay.
Midnight. And you really have to go early because it's the block. It's around the block. The line's around the block.
Wow.
And and tons of product he sells too. Stuff that's in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Yeah. It's funny how you can, how something can be turned around like that. I mean, that's a genius thing that you did. I told you guys, Ed Losey is like the best. I mean,
we're doing. Thank you for that. James Franco has. This is the biggest chance of his career. The buzz now is for an Oscar nomination for him for Best Actor.
He's a great actor anyway.
Yeah, he's going to be up against Gary Oldman with another makeup job with Winston Churchill.
Right.
But they transformed Franco into Tommy Wiseau, and he trained and worked with the voice, and he becomes Tommy Wiseau. So much so that there's a scene in the movie with the real Tommy Wiseau with James Franco, and it's uncanny.
Wow, can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah, but it's bizarre. You don't have to see The Room to see The Disaster Artist about the making of it. But it would help. It would be better. So for everybody out there, go see the movie that I worked on as unit publicist, The Room, and then see,
at the Regency locally here in L.A.
That's
or in Westwood.
In L.A. Weekly and the L.A. Times when he usually the third week, on a Saturday night, and So
fantastic, man. That's
Yeah.
great. So is there going to be a big premiere, red carpet, Hollywood red carpet, and all that stuff?
Yeah. A24 and Warner Brothers are going to have that. Probably. I don't know yet if it's going to be at the Chinese or in Westwood, but
I think I asked you if you were handling that.
Yeah,
You said,
no,
Yeah.
we're not handling the disaster artist, but we are working for what we do. We do Oscar nomination campaigns. We
Right.
lobby Academy members, okay,
Right.
to vote for best actor, best cinematographer, best whoever retains us, okay, to work. So we have well over 1,000 Academy members that we have access to, and it's hard we built that up over the years.
Right.
Mainly because of the 90 of the 100 Stars Oscar party, but it's what we do. It's sort of like guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
And the Academy and the Golden Globes, we have access to them and we lobby them as well.
Right.
For the Golden Globes. So here's our prediction: James Franco will receive the Golden Globe nomination, and he will receive the Academy Award nomination. It's going to be tough. It's going to be between him and Gary Oldman.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they got him all up on the plastic face and everything to make him look like Winston Churchill, right?
Oh yeah.
Look at what I saw of the disaster movie. I thought, we've had a lot of dramas, but a good slapstick kind of comedy drama is just always works well.
It's got a great ending. You feel good about this movie.
Yeah, it's a feel-good movie, right?
And they've messed with the facts a little bit.
Yeah,
the premiere scene they had it. They turned it around, and it's okay. At first, I was upset about it until I saw the movie, and then I realized what James Franco was doing.
Right.
And he didn't want to make fun of Tommy Wiseau. He didn't want to tear him down. It was actually more of sympathy for him.
Right.
It was, and it works. It really worked. Any actor, actress, director, and all needs to see this, and they will feel a closeness to trying to make it in this town.
Oh yeah,
not taking no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Except he did it, but like I said, he became a success or famous for all the wrong reasons.
I love that quote. That's funny, man.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It just became a spectacle in itself, and we're the ones who talked him into it. Okay.
Wow.
I'm giving him the credit to go from firing me to saying, I think we got to do something.
Well, listen, my friend. Will you talk me into doing something that I don't want to do? Because then maybe, I'd like to have something happen. Yeah, come on, talk me into something.
So anyway, we like your new vampire teeth.
Oh, you like arr, arr. Yeah. Yes, a pirate. Yes.
I'm looking at you now on the screen.
I popped a tooth after AFM. I was I was 14 hours and I drank some Dr. Pepper and ate some ice and cracked my tooth and went to the dentist and he said, I can't get to you for a month and a half. I said, what am I going to do? Am I going to have to be a pirate for a month and a half? And he looked at me and he said, well, maybe. And I said, well, I've taken that upon that character. Where's me wenches and rum?
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be great. Yeah.
You think you
do
can
good on dates?
You think you can do something with me, baby? I got this little tooth that the doc made for me to put up in there, but I start talking like this, and this is. I'd rather talk like this. Yes, batten down these hatches.
Well, you'll get through it.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm glad you noticed it. I did it just for you, Edward.
Yeah. Thanks.
I can put a straw in there just perfectly now. I can hold my straw. Be like, yeah, that's right. Like, the great actor during Cagney's time.
So wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Somebody's on the line. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. It's O.J. Simpson's on the line. He wants to talk to you about what you did by promoting that book, O.J. the Killer. He's not happy.
Okay. Let's talk to O.J. Give me the
No,
juice.
he's on the other line. He just told me to tell you to back off. So I don't know if he's in Vegas. I think he's still there, but we just hung up on him, so don't worry.
Okay, I won't worry about it. I won't worry. Hey, forget about it.
Yeah.
I won't worry about
I know
it.
you because you had the authors of O.J. the Killer on it.
Yes, I did.
Thank you for that.
Detective Pembroke and Cheryl Kane, and they're going to be
Yeah.
coming on here. They're our update couple. You know, we check in with them when we want to find out the latest of OJ.
Yeah, they've got some good stuff for you for next week.
I can't wait, to bring them back up because OJ is going to self-destruct. Like you predicted James Franco's going to win the Academy Awards. I predicted OJ within 3 months he's going to be back in jail.
Yeah. I think you're right.
He's going to self-destruct like anyway. The guy is self-destructive. I'm not a big fan of his, and he just whacked off some people's heads and got away with it. But he's going to get his. He'll get his. As far as I'm concerned, if I can help out, I'll help out. Hey, OJ, come on.
We represented Al Cowlings, who drove the white Bronco.
Right.
He hired us to do a press conference, which was not really a press conference, and to keep the press away from him.
Yeah.
And he saved OJ's life.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Well, you also specialize in a lot of disaster public relations. I mean, that's one of the things you've done
we
very
do crisis management, but we represent 26 law firms, too. So we're working on, like, high-profile cases, whether it's clergy sex abuse cases or, tobacco litigation.
Right.
We worked on cases involving the great Melvin Belli, who was the father of the American Trial Lawyers.
What a great attorney he was!
Yeah, he was my mentor in all that area of legal and dealing with the press and the media. He was a master at it.
He sure was.
Yeah, and even Gloria Allred told me one time. She said, I learned from him. And on dealing with the media.
Well, she's pretty darn good at it. Let me tell you. One time by accident, she sent me her whole media list, and I still have it. It's the hundreds.
I got that too.
Did you? I think everybody in town got it, right?
It's already outdated, but that was about 4 or 5 years ago. I
dug in. I said, oh, no way! I dug right into that real fast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Ed, we got to get you back here in the studio, and I can't wait for Night of 100 Stars this year. And you made the prediction, James Franco, Academy Award winner, Golden Globe winner, and go check out the movie, Disaster Movie. And if you have the opportunity, go see the room.
It opens December 1st in Los Angeles. It opens December 7th or 8th nationwide.
And I'm going to do my best to get myself on that red carpet media because I want to be a part of that one. That's for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you can give me some hints.
Well, I'm sure they're going to send something out in the various event columns.
Right.
So calendars.
Yeah, we look at. You give me a few. Give me a little help. I'll wash your beautiful Jag and wax it for you. Okay.
Sure. No, actually, my Jeep Cherokee needs it more.
Oh, okay. Well, just bring the Jeep Cherokee over.
It's a muddy mess. I go up to Big Bear Lake a lot. I have a speedboat up there.
Well, you be careful because Big Bear was just voted like the 9th most crime-infested city in the state of California.
Yeah, well,
I just wanted you to know.
Where did this come out?
It's all over the internet.
Really?
The 10 top worst cities of crime. San Bernardino's in there, San Jose, and all these.
They said Big Bear.
Big Bear, because you know what it is? It's break-ins. Because there's a lot of people. They leave their houses.
Yeah.
And they're just.
I know there's a lot of vacation homes up there. Yeah. It has gotten worse, and it's being overdeveloped.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Nothing like it was even 10 years ago.
No, absolutely not. Edward Losey, the great Edward Losey. Hey, how do they check you out, man? I know you got that website going on.
Oh, it's Lozzi, Losey, 2 Z's like in Zorro, LoseyPR.com.
All right, you need some.
Yeah, we're also on Facebook and Twitter and all that, and we had a good time today.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And Geraldine was terrific.
Yeah,
and,
wasn't she great?
Oh, she's just fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
we'll have to I'll bring her down. We'll come in and do a show when we get some more news about the Broadway play.
Hey, you got an open door with me, my friend. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Hey,
all right, take care.
Be
Thanks.
safe, buddy. Thanks a lot. Everlosey, everybody. Well, that's a kind of an extended version of the Jesse T Show. Now I'm going to get some energy and have a Milky Way bar. That's right. A Milky Way bar filled full of caramel and chocolate, wrapped up nice and tight to keep it fresh as I open it up and put it in my mouth. The Milky Way experience of the Milky Way. Milky Way. It's the best and only way to a man's heart. Hey, pretty good commercial, huh?
Mama T didn't think so.
No, I'm in trouble now. I can't even talk to you. I got a mouthful of caramel. All right. Jesse T Show's after show, after party is all done. And thanks a lot for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you later tomorrow. Great show and all that good stuff. We'll see you. The Brown Beauty's off duty. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.